making sure you weren't. All right, all right. I'm putting my mic up. I don't know. Let me know if you can hear this quality. Hey, dude. Yes, these are the red pepper craws. I actually ended up making those in craws, grub, and lizards because I am going to put these on the website. If you see them in a bag, they're going to be in the website. Let me turn that off. Yeah, dude. I don't have a website yet. I am working on that. But at the moment, I'm still websiteless. All right. Give me a second, dude. I got to rearrange this camera because I got my mic on the wrong side. You're getting a little behind the scenes view. You have to bear with me here. I'm trying to get this damn camera to work. All right, there we go. All right, let me know if that audio is all right. That's what I was working on. But dude, yeah, the red crawl, that was a good idea. Or the red pepper, that is going to be officially the name. I already put that on the website. It's just not live yet. I am a lot better at making baits than making websites. Let me get some plastic saw heated up for us real quick. We'll make some baits. All right, put that in the microwave. All right, what color do y'all want to see? No, website is not live yet. I'm making it on Shopify. Like I said, dude, I'm not a website maker. um, that will be coming soon, but your bait will be on there for sure. This right here. And like I said, we got them in all the different tiles. All right, Retro, what color should I make? I got some plastisol warming up. I just made a video on some pink something. That's coming out in a few days. Hopefully that microwave's not too loud. All right, we got 30 people. Someone give me a color. We're about to make some baits here. You can choose from any of these colors. Well, you can choose any color you want. I'll make it. Just kind of displaying what I got right here. But if you guys got some suggestions, let me know. Rainbow. It went hard. Okay, that's not as easy as you might think. I got a mixed color, so it's going to kind of, it's going to start out as a clear, and I got all sorts of different colors. All right, we're back. Have you got to the point where you can make crawls with different colors on the crawl? Yeah, check it out. So what I do, and you can kind of actually tell in this one, see how you can still see that green through it. I don't have a second. Let me show you something. All right, this is a mold. It's just the tail mode. And what I do, it kind of goes in conjunction with this mold. All this is from Epic Bait Molds, probably the best molds out there. I will pour into this, put the tails into that, and then pour over it. So it's two different molds, and kind of how it looks like would be a good example of something like this. See how I poured the green and then I poured the purple on top of it. And I can make all sorts of different things. I got a really, this one's probably my favorite. Chartreuse, that pepper red. All right, someone wants teal. I can do teal. But yeah, definitely have already doing the claws and stuff. I got a bunch like that. I had someone make me a crawl bait a few years ago. It looked like gummy cola bottles. So translucent brown with clear crawls. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. I can do that. Let's see. In light of it being a live video, I'm probably going to stick to the colors that are a little quicker. That being said, I can definitely make that. I got some pigment that would probably work good for that. A little transparent brown. Can I do green and blue? Do you want them like this right here? But like green body, blue craws? Or I could even do kind of something like this where different tail color, different body color. You can do whatever. This plastic, I got to get it up to 340 degrees and then I can rock and roll. Can you like do it like the one that is like purplish in front of you? This one? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know if I have some other purple ones would be something like that. Or maybe something like that. Wait, so you're talking about this? Yeah, I can make that. I actually made those last night. That is a special powder I use from Dead Ops Powders or Dead Ops Plastics. They have powders. It's both of these, a little bit more of that. But yeah, I can make that real quick. Give me just a second. Let me get this plastic all out. It's almost done. All right, we got about 30 more seconds on that. What I'm going to do is as I am making one, I will have one warming up. That way you're not waiting on me. Do you want them in that same style, or do you want them like a little grub? You want them crawdad? I can do lizards. I can even do like little minnows. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. All right, definitely gonna need a glove for this. This stuff is pretty hot. And I use a little mixer here. Ooh. I don't know if you can hear that. There's obviously some water or some sort of moisture in there. It's boiling to the top. Didn't really look like it affected it too much. All right. Are we doing, what are we doing? Are we doing teal or are we doing this bluish? Let's do, I'm not going to lie. I can make a pretty badass teal. We call that watermelon candy. Let's do that. All right. Let's start with some green. MF Plastics. Shake that up real good. No, it's not candy. If you are a largemouth bass and or smallmouth bass, you might consider it candy, but you and I would not consider this to be candy. All right. I'm doing 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's mix that in. Kind of get that closer to you. All right, we got kind of a teal. What else should we add? You let me know. I'll make whatever y'all want. Let's just add to this. Have you ever went fishing? Yeah, once or twice. No, I don't have a business. I'm just doing this for fun. I give these out to a lot of buddies that is at like my marina or where I go fish. I'm in Nashville, so we got some few lakes around here, a lot of people. But no, I don't sell them. I just give them away. It's more of a hobby. All right, I need another color to add. We got teal so far. Should I add more of it? Or should I keep going blue? Should I keep going green? I actually have, to answer that, we do use softener in this stuff to make them a little more squishy. Just depends on the type of bait you want. All right, what color are we adding, guys? I need another color in here. When it hardens, it'll look like that. I'm going to use this to pour some more plastisol. Well, if you only been fishing once, I hope you had a good time. Fishing is good whether you catch a fish or not. I'd rather be fishing than at work. Swim baits, no. I only have 4-inch molds. I have some Cincos or whatever you want to call them. This is from Do It Molds. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't like these molds. They will not give you that sheer or shine when you use them. They're pretty cheaply made. I give you an idea. I mean, look at the quality in that CNC machine. Let me grab you this right here. You want to talk about difference in quality? I mean, you can just tell by looking at it. That's going to perform a little better. Hello, everything, Sydney. You have the same mold from Do It Molds? No, yeah, okay. Now, you're right. That first mold I showed you that I do not like, this guy right here, this was like $38. So I'm not complaining. Would a fish eat it? Yeah. The other mold I showed you was about $250. So big difference there. You do pay for the quality difference. It's more so quality to us. I will say when you pour in these, no matter how transparent you have the dye, it's going to come out looking very more like that where you can't see through it, even if you're supposed to. I'm assuming that's just the way it, I don't know, just the sort of material they use in here. I can tell by the grading it's less quality, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot. And I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So yeah, don't tell my wife. Do It Molds. I got it for about, I think it was like 38 bucks. I can do a see-through one. That's kind of where this one's going. I still need to add another color. If you guys want, I can add anything to this right here. Just let me know what color you want to see. Or hey, we can keep it the same way. I'm going to put that back into the microwave for about 30 seconds, let it heat up. Thank you. Thank you, Avery Wright. What's up? What is up? You should got on whatnot. What? What is whatnot? Oh, dude, is that app I keep seeing on my ads? All right, we're gonna heat that up. I guess I got something I can add to that. Dude, click 3008. You like fishing? Tell me what color I should add to this. I really like the way that is so far, but kind of want to add a little something to it. All right, I don't know what that is. Auction place. Oh, dude, I know what that is. Okay, I got a buddy that sells like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and shit on there. Dude, holy shit, Bill Gates is him. This is Baja Blast. I never thought about that. Let's just make it like this. I want to add a few more drops to solidify that Baja Blast. That's definitely the name. Yeah, it's a little hot. It's about 340 degrees. All right. Baja Blast. Dude, I like it. All right, what should I put this in? I could put it in little grubs. We could do the little crawdads. We could do lizards. You could do swim baits too. They probably look pretty good in swim baits. Just let me know what mold. We'll throw it in there. Craw and lizard. What are you doing? I am making fishing baits. So it starts out like this. It's 350 degrees. It's going to end up something like that. We're going to put it in a mold real quick. All right. I'm going to microwave this for about 15 seconds to kind of raise those bubbles so we don't have air pockets when I put them in the mold. This is really hot, so I'm going to grab my glove here. All right. Lobster. Yeah, a little baby lobster. We call them crawdads where I'm from, but that's probably not the right name either. Yeah, these lobsters look great. Thank you, Click. It's a little baby lobster. This is about, I mean, you can see how big it is, so. We got those. Let's see. If you're bass fishing, you're probably going to be using more of like a green to it. Looks like those are sitting too close to something colorful. Yes, I am in Nashville, Tennessee, brother. All right, that is good. I'm going to move it over here. All right, you said crawls and lizards. This is our lizard mold. That is our crawl mold before. Lizard mold's a little different. I can tack it together with these screws right here. Crawl mold, I'm gonna have to clamp that, so give me just a second. Let me put some clamps on there. You should ban blast on the website. You should put ban blast. Did you mean Baja Blast? I think you meant Baja Blast. But you're right, dude. I like that. I mean, there might be some trademark issues there. I have never even sold a bait for money. I think the last thing I'd want to do is get into trouble with Taco Bell, but I'm down. Okay, you know what I'm thinking though? We need to add some glitter to this. What color? I got all sorts of colors we can use. You said silver? Okay. You want like just pure silver, kind of like a disco silver, Bill Gates? Yeah, dude, if I ever sell these, man, they're gonna be like $4. I'm not in it for money. I have a job. This is literally what I do when I'm just bored. Disco, I got you. All right. This is big disco flake. I might actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. All right, we're gonna do a teaspoon of it. Silver is pretty much in the mix of this, so we're gonna call this silver, but got a little disco. That is too small. Let's go bigger. All right, pour that in. You know what? I actually do want just some solid silver at a smaller flake. And I just happen to have a bag of that right here. You love it? Good. I think this will actually look good. This is a good idea. I might make an actual video on this with a little Baja Blast flavor. All right, so that's silver, but it doesn't give you that disco effect. All right, let me clean my knife off here. Mix that in there. See if we can get you a better view of it. Oh yeah, I'm liking it. Let's keep stirring that up. Oh yeah. Dude, Baja Blast is definitely the name. All right, I'm going to heat this up, pull some air bubbles out of it real quick. Probably don't need to lay that hot knife on all those baits. Just ruined a few of them. All right, I'll put that in for about 15 seconds. Yeah, I think if we name it Baja Lobster, I don't think we're going to have a problem there. At the end of the day, like, bruh, I don't care what we call it. Me and you, we're going to call that Baja Lobster. Do every soda. Baja Crawl, I like that. Do every soda flavored bait and do a review on how the audience likes it. Not a bad idea. Paradise, I agree. You shouldn't every okay, yeah. Baja Blast, yeah, dude. We come from that generation. Crawl does have a good ring to it. How many molds do you own? One, two. So I got this one. Oh, hang on. Let me zoom you out again. I got one, two. I got 9 molds. 9 molds, and 2 of which I don't ever use. You'll never see in a video. I do not like the quality. But 7 of them are pretty good. All right, let's pour these in. Let's see. So I'm going to take this out of frame because I need to not bump the camera when I do this. All right, take our injector here. Let's do one quick stir so that glitter gets back up to the top. The glitter kind of settles when you do a reheat. I only reheat it because I want it to be at the right temperature. I measured it right before I took it out. We're at 132 or 332 degrees. How long do I spend on this a day? I try to film all my videos on my off day, so I try to get about 8 videos just to have one extra in case I don't like something. But generally, man, I mean, I'll make 2 videos every night if I can, and it doesn't take that long. Which ones don't you like? I do not like do it molds. And no, I am not gay. How long do you spend? Yeah, do it molds. What do I do as my job? I am a financial manager for an F&I department, which stands for finance and insurance. And it's so boring that in order for me to stay sane, I have to at least do something like fish. What'd you say? No, I already said that. I'm not. I meant the 2 that you don't use. The 2 that I don't use. Okay. The 2 that I don't use is called Do It Molds. And I mean, you can look at it and just tell there's a difference. They're both made out of aluminum, but One is a lot better. This is the second one. I don't use it much too. And you know what? We can use it tonight. I will give you a prime example of why I don't use it. In fact, let's use this. I'll show you. What kind of baits do I like? Pretty much everything. You see, I grew up fishing with lizards like that and crawdads. My grandpa caught all his fish on crawdads and killed it. I meet with a lot of fishermen. They don't like crawdads, and I don't know. It's just one of those things where you see your gramps do it, and you're like, I can do that too. Oh shoot! All right, let's top that off. Before I pour, I know I was gonna pour lizards. I'm actually gonna skip the lizards because I want to show you what the difference is in these two molds. I need to wait for this to cool off because I need a little bit more. I like to fish. Good. About $100 fishing rod, dude. I have 28 fishing rods, and you can only use one at a time. So I get it. All right, that's drying off. Shouldn't take too much longer. And then we'll pour it. We'll pour into this mold right here. I'll show you. You know what? I actually have some real swim baits. We'll compare a $50 mold next to a $320 mold. I'll show you the biggest difference there. And it is, I think it's probably more of a difference for us, but sometimes I like to think the fish has personality too. You have a pond by your house? Dude, I wish I had a pond by my house. I would sell my boat. I would sell pretty much almost all my fishing gear if I could just have a pond by my house. I just realized this knife has been sitting on all my bait. Dude, I would stock that pond. Root beer no type bait? What do you mean by that? What do you do with the swim baits you make on stream? I give them to local fishermen at my. I have my boats at the marina, and I only do that because I have a really old Jeep, and it really can't pull the boat. So having a marina is really helpful. And every time I go out there, there's a bunch of people fishing, so I just hand them out to people. I'm not. I'm not looking for anything other than just having a good time. I haven't made the video or released it. I made some candy cane bait though, little candy cane swim baits. They're supposed to be white with just red flake, but the flake bled into the pigment, kind of turned into a bonish candy cane. I don't hate it. You flipped your boat, dude. I have never flipped a boat. I have seen a boat flip, and it wasn't even like a. It wasn't going fast. It flipped because it went on an embankment. But that was, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but the embankment kind of came out of nowhere. Looks like a finger. Yeah. Yep. When these have paddle tails, so when you hook it, and the ones I make have a hook set slip, so you can see how that slips open. So the hook will go through kind of round, or you can go the other way. And these paddle as that hits the water, they start doing, they give you that little paddle. Looks kind of like a fish. I feel it, bro. Dude, flipping a boat is not easy. It depends on the boat, but like most boats don't capsize like that. They're actually made to sort of stay uneven. Now, I'll be honest, there have been a few times in my fishing boat where I'm like, yeah, I feel like that could have flipped, but never happened before. All right, let's open up this. Show you what those look like. This is the oh shit. This is the Baja Blast. Man, I like that. That looks good. Looks real good. Yeah, I would definitely fish with these. All you do is just pull and twist. Oh yeah, these are good. Good name, good look. All right, yeah. If I ever finish this website, I think these will have to go on there. The little Baja Blast. I like that a lot. They sparkle good in the light. You can see through them. They're transparent. On a clear water day, those would be great. Especially shallow water, which we're kind of getting into. I like that. All right. Let's put these right here. Okay. Now I want to show y'all what a crappy mold. Again, this mold right here. This is my crawl mold, so it's about 280 bucks, 250 bucks. Do it molds about 50 bucks. You already saw what those look like. Let me show you same exact pigment, but we're gonna put them in a different mold. I guarantee you the difference is definitely there. I'm gonna remelt some of this stuff first. Easiest way to do that is just chop it up, give it a good little stir. All right, so that in the microwave. Before I do that, I need to clean the injector off. I'll just pull that excess out. You should make a water version. What is a water version? They're all gonna go in the water, hopefully. You don't like it, Bill Gates? You think these look crappy? Come on, bro. Look at that. Dude, I would eat that. I think they look good. No, make a water bait. You're gonna have to help me out here, man. Oh, you mean the mold? Yeah, bro, the mold's crappy. I mean, you can even look at the difference here. And I mean, they're both aluminum. Other than it's the fact that it's light, it looks like lead. And I mean, if you really look at like just the way, I mean, it's not smooth. That same gradient surface is the same surface that you see in there. I'm going to show you. I was excited to see how cheap they were. And I was like, oh shit. And then I bought them and I was like, oh, this is why they're so cheap. Now, again, like with the fish care, probably not. Now, there are some baits where you want them to actually be a little transparent, and you're about to find out that does not. Yeah, dude, it does look like lead. You're about to find out it does not really help. I'm just going to shoot like 2 or 3 of them because it's individual cavities. Let that keep warming up. You know why that's warming up? Why don't we take a little detour? Let me try not to turn my phone off while I do this. Let me show you all these different pigments we can use. All right. So I got all sorts of different colors, glitters, all sorts of different stuff. We can use whatever y'all want. I'm literally here just to do whatever y'all want. If you ever watch my short videos, like this is literally what I'm working about. Rainbow is not easy. I know rainbow is. I wish that was as simple as it was. I could probably do it. It's just a matter of pouring it, right? Because you mix a rainbow together, it's gonna end up looking like this. But you have to pour it, let it dry, pour on top of that, and every time you pour on top, it has to be hotter than the last so it actually molds. So it's a little tedious. You like the baby bass stay in the grub? Dude, were you talking about these? These are good. I also made baby bass minnows in my last video with chartreuse tails. That was pretty cool. Little bubbles in there I don't like, but how I made that, I literally made the minnow and I used scissors and I cut the bottom out and then I poured the pearl on top of it. A lot of people were asking that. I appreciate you liking those though. I kind of said it in the video, red tail. What do you think about red tail on the white? I think that would do good, especially in March, at least in the South. That's where I'm at. Can you make a emerald green and gold? Yeah, I can do that. I actually have some really good emerald green flake to go along with that. All right. Okay, so let's mix that back in there. Yeah, dude, Bill Gates. Tail could totally be darker. And that's the problem with these scrubs is because when it gets to the tail portion, it's so thin that you have to have a really dark pigment in order to make it darker. I didn't account for that. All right, let me show you how crappy this mold is. Let's pick up some of our Baja Blast here. Easy to pour, that's for sure. There's not a lot to it. A little messy. All right, we're just going to do 3 because I really like this pigment. And I need to remember how to make it for later. So I'm going to save some so I can match it later. Yeah, dude. A lot of times. So I'm going to assume, Mr. Bill Gates over here, do you make your own baits? All right, that's drying off. You know what would go good with that? Well, this is kind of it's dry, so it's kind of hard to tell. Here, that would go good. Maybe Baja Body green pincher or purple, whatever the color, pink pinchers, or maybe the other way around. Yeah, I've started. I'm only 14 now. Hey, dude, great time. That is a great time to start anything. You should keep doing it. LOL, the Baja Blast lobster is trying to grab the hot Baja Blast on the table. All right, hang on. Where are we at here? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yep. You know how them crawdads work. Red pinchers with green body would be great. Man, you know what? I could flood this table of things that you guys are explaining. I have a whole container full of it. All right, let's get this off. Let's see if I can. All right, there's that Baja pigment. Throw that back in the batch. Let me show you. Or more like teal, whatever Baja color. Baja, we were just referencing Taco Bell. That's why. It does kind of, it really does look like Baja. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Look at that. Look at how crappy that is. See, it's even stuck on both sides. Okay. So, I don't know if you can tell on camera how crappy this mold is. I mean, just remember, these are the same thing. Now, I reheated it, so it's going to turn a little more green. But at the same time, these are so, I mean, if the bait itself wasn't made to be rigid, it would look even worse. It's made to sort of look that way. But I mean, again, I don't know if you can tell. These are just, like, I would never sell these to a person, or even I would feel bad if I just gave them to them. Now maybe, and I mean, see what I mean? Like even the ridges have little dents in them, and that is not because of the plastisol being a certain temperature of the mold. That is just literally the crappy cuts these are, the crappy type of aluminum it is, that's what you get. Now again, if I'm out there in that pond like that one guy said, and this is what I got, I'm a rocket, but I would much rather have those. So that's why this thing just lives on my shelf until somebody wants a free mold. All right. I got a new cup of plastisol being heated up right now. Let's stir this up so it doesn't cool down wrong. When these cool down, I like them to kind of hug the edges. See how I'm doing this? That way it doesn't all just settle at the bottom because all those sparkles just sit and create a little clump. I'll show you. Here's a good idea. Here's the top. When it sits in there, it just sparkles all to the bottom. I literally just dropped some chartreuse in there. Whoops. All right, that's hot. All right, we got another bottle going up. All right, what's our next color? Yeah, it does look very dual, Robert. It's, I don't know. It's a weird thing where it's like I only paid $50 and I'm used to paying over 200. So I'm like, I'm not pissed because it's something, but at the same time, it's like, eh. All right, yeah, emerald green with gold flake. Is that what we're doing? Emerald green and gold. All right, new thing of plastisol. We got the little one today. Where's my knife? A lot of times when you warm this up, the bottom of it, you got to sort of stir that in. Let me drip that off. We'll just rub it off. To save time, we will be a little more messy. I'm going to put this in for about 10 more seconds. And then we need a emerald green. Emerald. So, get my little special bag of flake out here. Moss. I use, God, Bill. I use a lot. I use MF. I use Lureworks. I use Barlow's. And I use Dead On Plastics. My favorite MF. They're the OGs. They've been doing this for years. There we go. That's Kelly green. Hang on. St. Patrick's Day mold. That's not bad. I remember you saying you had a nice emerald flake to go along with that gold flake. Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Hang on. That is not right here. Give me a second. There it is. Emerald green, which might have a little more blue. That's why I kind of pair it with evergreen. You can barely tell. We'll do an emerald. Let me know if you want to change that. My second favorite green is this called Kelly green because it's just literal green. Gold. I have some special gold for that. So we could do that right there, which is an emerald tealish, if you ask me, but it says emerald with gold, or we could do the Kelly green. So let's see what y'all think about that. Let me put all this stuff up. In the Baja Blast with the emerald green, yeah. Hey, Alex Hutch, comment on one of my shorts. I will remember your name. I will send you my email, and then we'll figure out how I can get you these free molds because I do not want them. I will even pay for the shipping. Bill Gates. All right. Bill's taking one. Alex, you're taking the other. Both of y'all comment on a video, though, so I remember. Nah, bro. I'm not going to make you pay for it. It's free. Okay. Yes, Alex, for real. Just go to one of my shorts because I'm not going to be able to look at the. Here, I'll screenshot this. I got your username. Go to one of my shorts and say Baja Blast on any of them. I'll see it, And that way I know your name. All right, Bill. I got you, bro. I know who you are at this point. All right. So have you guys decided? Are we doing Kelly or emerald green? Well, let's figure out what pigment we want. I guess we're doing green. How much for the whole all this? Dude, you think that's the whole stock? Hang on. Let's go off. Let's grab the camera again. You're not gonna have much. There, we got options. No, for the dip molds, that's all I got. Those are fun. Those are good. These are one of my favorite. I recently have switched up bags just because I don't like these are like normal Ziploc sort of bags. Throw it back down there. All right, Alex, I got you, bro. I will figure out a way to message you. I'll send you my email, and you just email me, and I'll figure out a way to get you this molds. All right, Avery's here. So emerald. Now, let's see. I'm trying to think emerald here. We can go kind of with that Baja flavor before. We can go a little bit more green. We can go watermelon, which in our world is a little bit more like I don't know what you'd call that, like just a basic sort of, here's a watermelon. That sort of green. What do y'all want? We need a pigment for our emerald and gold. More green. All right. All right, let's start with a flow green. That's a little fluorescent. All right, ZK or ZQRC. He knows what I'm thinking. A little chartreuse action. So this is a flow green from MF. I'm gonna do 5 drops of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What do y'all think about that? Where's my knife? Where did my mixer go? I have lost my knife. Whatever. We'll use this one. I have a certain knife I really prefer to use, but whatever. All right, this is done nothing. Whoa. Well, that's the first time that's ever happened. This is beating up. All right, let's try something a little different because I don't know what happened to this, but hang on. There it goes. All right, so that's a very, Kelly could go better with that green. Not gonna lie, I agree. We're gonna change this green up though. I don't want it to be too fluorescent. Someone said some chartreuse. You know, I keep a lot of that. Chartreuse is one of my favorite pigments. So let's do a little bit of that. All right, what else we got? What do we want to add? A bit of watermelon. Watermelon. All right, anyone else got an option here? Let's stir this up, see what we're looking at. This is literally like a grass summer green is what this looks like. What else y'all want to add? We can add anything we want here. We got the green. I'll give you an idea what it might look like. Something I like to do is take one of my blocks. Oops. I can just kind of pour it out on there to kind of give you an idea. Because once that dries and solidifies, it'll give you that true color. This mold? This mold, I don't like it either, but it's not the same brand. Yeah, dude, this is just some serious slime. Let's add something else. What do y'all want? What do y'all think about a little blue? Just like a drop of blue. This stuff is a dye, so it's pretty strong. All right, so that darkened it up. Orange. Black flake. We're about to get to the flake. We're going to do green and gold. So try to stick with that. Oh, my bad, Bill. I didn't see the 2 drops. Not orange. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's just going to turn into a brown. We all know what brown looks like. Yeah, okay, after this, I'm going to show you a color that I normally make, and y'all will like it. Let me go ahead and get one ready for us. All right, we still need, let's do one more color. Try to stay in the color wheel of green. I'll get us another one ready. Light blue. Light blue. Light blue. You know what? I don't have a light blue, but I do have something. Purple, Tempest, stick around. The next one's going to be a really cool purple I made up myself. But let me find a blue. Oh, once upon a time I had one. Do a light gray? Dude, I didn't think they make a gray. Yeah, I have lost it, but somewhere. Oh, there it is. Literally right in front of me. I put blue powder in here. That will kind of give it a sheer. It's literally what that's made out of. What do y'all think? Think we should add a little blue powder to it? Let me heat this up before we do that. Just a little bit. Yeah, I agree. Not a lot. You know, it's crazy you say light blue. I almost bought some light blue pigment today, and I was like, who the heck's using light blue, you know? I could make light blue. I could add this to some white. Alex, I'm going to comment back on whatever you commented, my email to the channel. And then you just, yeah, we'll just email back and forth. You're good. Don't worry about it. Wait for me to get done with the live and everything and clean up the workshop, and then I'll email you back. All right. Okay, let's add a little bit of this blue sheer to it. Now, this stuff, I'm telling you, you gotta. Normally, I wear a respirator in the sense of the live because I am talking. I'm gonna hold my breath. And the reason is this stuff gets everywhere. Oh. All right. Dude, don't worry, Bill. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera. We're gonna get you that mold. All right. I don't know if this is gonna do a whole lot. Oh yeah, it's coming through. I don't know if you can tell though on camera that it's bringing a little sheer to it or not. You might be able to see that bit of sparkle. We'll put that next to the test there. Y'all want to add anything else, or are we going on to the flake? I feel like we need to add something because that's not going to, well, it might. So we're doing gold, and I think we decided on Kelly green, right? All right, y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Okay, I have a Jeep, a really old Jeep. It's almost 25 years old. It's an old Wrangler. It's called Impact Orange, if anyone knows what TJs are. And I made a color. This is my own personal color to match my Wrangler. Let's see if we can add a little bit of that. I just want to brown this up a little bit. Okay, it kind of gives it a thicker green. I didn't want to put a lot in there. But yeah, that I exactly agree, Tempest. It needs to be a little darker. Emerald would have more crack. Emerald would have more contrast. That is closer. You are correct. I don't really. I mean, here. Maybe that'll help. It's gonna darken it up, give it a little more of an emerald vibe. Just a bit. Might need to put a little more blue in there to get that. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. All right, what mold are we putting this in? We got lizards, craws, we got swim baits, we got minnows. I have 2 do-it molds that I don't like, and officially I don't own them anymore. They are belong to an Alex and a Bill. Other than that, I got grubs. What do y'all want? Swim bait. We got 1 swim bait. We got 1 minnow. We got 1 craw. You know what, Tempest? I think you're right. Bill said minnows. Is that your final answer, Bill? We'll put these in the minnows. Charles and Bill have said minnows, and that is what we're gonna do. So let me grab that minnows. What would look real good with this would be some yellow tails with this. Let me put this in the microwave for 15 seconds. After this, I'm gonna do a purple. It's a violet purple. It's pretty awesome. So that's where we arrived. We started right here. We made it all the way to this green. I like this green a lot. I also want to throw these swim baits away, or I'll send these to Bill. Ow. Don't get the cheap one out. Yeah, I figured. Dude, Robert, I appreciate you staying by. We're not scratching off lottery tickets on this one. Dude, YouTube Live is whack. I get on there and I'm like, what are people doing with their lives? I'm just trying to have fun and go fish. All right, let me get some of this stuff out of our way. Are we still? We're still doing emerald, yeah. Yeah. All right, gold. I'm gonna go heavy on it because I'm not, for live stream purposes. I'm not gonna lie. What do we do here? Emerald or Kelly? Kelly's kind of really close to it. I think Emerald would do better. I believe we've all decided on Emerald, but I just want to make sure. Dude, I agree. It's a bunch of people yelling. Emerald for contract. All right, that's what I'm thinking. You guys know already. What am I even doing here? Let's add some emerald. Yeah, you're right. That will contrast quite well. Dude, Avery, you're right. You know what's up. I might stir that in. Let's get our little tester back here. All right, we still got room for more flake if you guys want another color in there. I don't mind it though. Get that close to you. Do y'all think a red? What do y'all think about a red? Do you think that would kill it? You think this would kill this John Deere mix right here? All right, if y'all like it. Let's throw those into the minnows real quick. I'm going to heat that up for just 10 seconds to get those bubbles to come back to the top. We'll set up this space for the minnows. We'll get some of this stuff out of our way. Probably going to pour minnows, and someone said craws. I'm going to do that because I have enough plastisol. These minnows are super. It's like a teaspoon. That's all you need. I need to clean this off. This Baja Blast off real quick. Do you mean red flake or red pigment, like color? Because if you put red color in it, yeah, it's gonna turn it into a brownish. Some of them, but if you put red flake, as long as it's quality flake. Oh, you're talking about red flake. No, that won't change the pigment. It will if the pigment was white, but with it being green, it won't change anything. And I ain't gonna lie, dude. Let's take a vote. Does anyone want to see some red in here? I agree with the red motion. And I'm just looking at that and I'm saying I feel like these guys go together. We're doing it. All right, let's do a little red here. Might have a little Christmassy vibes, but that's okay. All right, I think that's pretty good. Let me get my crop. All right, just gotta clamp these up. For those of you that watch my videos and you always see me wear this blue sweatshirt, if you ever get plastisol on your clothes, that might as well just be the thing you wear every time you're doing this because you ain't getting that out. Are you good at math questions? Dude, I don't know. It depends. Probably not. I wouldn't bet on it. All right. Let's inject that in. We'll do our crawls first because it's going to be the bulk of the plastisol. Kind of shimmy that in. Let's do our crawl, or I'm sorry, our minnows. Minnows, they don't require a whole lot of extra pouring on top of it. Oh, yeah, I am a finance manager, but math questions don't necessarily. Sorry. Yeah, I don't. I do. Okay, here's the thing. I am a finance manager. I have no degree. Um, without being too whatever about it, like there's a reason I don't have to sell these baits. I'm fortunate enough to not need to. But I do addition. I do math you learned in 5th grade. So, yeah. Yeah, red flakes going good. Let's top these off. I'm bring this guy over here for you. I refrain from saying this, but my most of my financial experience involves car dealerships. I go into car dealerships and explain to them what they're not doing right. Favorite color to pour? Um, I really love motor oil. That's one of my favorite baits. Just because I used to grow up, growing up, I used to fish with it. Motor oil looks like this. This is kind of a bad example. Wait a minute, that's not motor oil. Here's motor oil. See how it's kind of green? You can barely tell because the light's hitting it in every angle, but it's actually kind of this motory oil red. I have multiple different types of motor oils. I have OG motor oil. I have motor oil I call 5W30 weight. Um, all sorts of different ones. But my OG motor oil, which I wish I had, I gave it away. I made a video on it though, if you ever want to see it, is a type of motor oil that my grandpa would use. Yeah, transmission fluid. I call that. I when the website goes live, you'll see a bait on there called AF or ATF plus 4. That's going to be the transmission fluid. I figured because motor oil is like a popular bait in the industry, I was like, well, can't have a motor without a transmission. So we're gonna make some of that too. Dude, Tempest is out here giving me math problems. I'm trying to live stream, and this guy's giving me each man got $1. Each man got $1. That's good. Back 9 times 3 is 27. 2829. The money from the guy. What did the other dollar go? He still got it. I don't know if that's right, but I've heard this one before. I have your dollar. All right, let's cut these off. About to do our reveal here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this next pigment ready. This guy's out here giving me math problems. Money did not go anywhere. All right, who's right? Tempest is over here giving me the SATs again. Or the ACTs is where I'm from. There's a reason I'm sitting in my garage making baits, bro. All right, all right, all right. All right. What do y'all want to see first? If y'all make baits, Epic Bait Molds. That's the way to go. I'm not affiliated with them all. Fuck, dude. I wish I was. Minnows. Minnows are first. Ah. That was supposed to be more revealing. Had them on the wrong side. What do y'all think about those? They definitely look like a Christmas flavored bait. Yeah, dude. World's Worst Fishing is the reason I'm doing this. I was watching him years ago. I always wanted to make it, and then when I finally got like at a point in fishing where it's like just became casual, I was like, let's kind of step it up a notch. Sorry if y'all hear the microwave. Um, yeah, dude, Christmas tree is a great name for that. I mean, look at that. But yeah, World's Worst Fishing is the OG bait making channel. My favorite bait making channel is SDG. Adam over there, great guy. He is just very knowledgeable, humble sort of guy, Christian guy. I don't know if that matters to some of y'all. Helps me out a little bit. Um, but yeah, just a good dude. Regardless of his religious beliefs, he's a good guy, and I am on his side. All right, crawdads now. Then of course you got the goat marking. When it comes to like short videos and just like like there's a difference between hey, here's how you do it and hey, look at what I'm doing. A marking capitalizes on that. Here's what I'm doing. Um, but when you get into bait making, eventually you're like watching people that are kind of showing you like, hey, look at this new idea I just had. Just getting all this crap out. All right, Craws. Marking is super cool. Not hating on marking. He's literally one of the reasons I was like, you know what? I do this anyway. Might as well put my phone in front of me. Purple's next. Yeah, let's see. All right, I need about 30 seconds on the microwave. Y'all are gonna like the purple. All right. Here's our John Deere Christmas cross. That's what I look at him. The purple I'm going to use is a violet purple. If you've watched some of my videos before, you might have got a sneak peek on it. Um, it's probably one of my favorite pigments. All right, that is done. If you could fish anywhere in the world, where would you go? Florida? I'd love to go fish some tiger strain bass. Florida in like freshwater, not saltwater. I mean, shit. I'd go do that too. But you boys here boat wouldn't make it very far out there. All right. John Deere is built John Tough. That's right. Yeah. If I could fish anywhere in the world, I'm not gonna lie. America probably has the best freshwater fishing until you get to South America, where you have like peacock bass the size of you. But like, go to Europe or Russia or China. They're all catching carp, bruh. It's not until you get to Japan that they know what a bass is. And it's like, all right, so you're telling me that there's two countries in the world that fish bass because they're the only countries in the world that really have largemouth bass, and we're one of them. Bass is the best. But like I said, if you want to look at some crazy peacock bass, look at some videos in South America, like the Amazon fishing. That's crazy, but a little far fetched. So yeah, I guess if I go anywhere in the world, yeah, South America, that'd be awesome. What do you like to catch more, bass or cat? Oh, bass. The reason I like to catch that back in the microwave. I like to catch bass more because when I fish for catfish, I just sit there and I wait. And that's not bad, especially if you got like something in your hand you can drink on. But dude, bass fishing, I mean, I'm casting, I'm reeling. I'm casting, I'm reeling. I'm casting, like I'm constantly moving, and that's the type of fishing I like. Sitting there waiting on the fish to me is just kind of boring. That being said, I do like catching some catfish when I get them on the line. But that line that I get them on was sitting on the back of the boat, just chilling while I'm actually fishing in the front of the boat. Yeah, dude, Robert, Amazon freshwater fishing, and I'm not talking about like the piranhas and stuff. I'm talking about like the game fish in there. Oh, dude, it is insane. I mean, they're using swim baits or like crankbaits like this long, just smashing it. Boom. All right, y'all ready for some purple? Piranhas are piranhas. I don't know if y'all ever had them. Piranhas taste pretty good. They're not bad. They're a little bony. You got to get through some of the bones, but after that, they're pretty good. All right. Now, where are my purple people at? Purple's about to happen. Are y'all ready? Dude, I love these little Baja Blasts. These look great. I'm gonna make a video on those. Who deserves ownership for that? Yeah, there'll be a little transparent. All right, Bill Gates, dude. Bill, he's out here with these ideas. He must be the real guy. Favorite mold: lizards, crawdads. I just catch a lot of fish with them. That's why. They've always been my go-to. The rage crawl has always been my go-to. All right, this stuff right here is awesome. And I don't even think we're going to have to add anything other than this, but I do got some ideas. So let's do 10 drops. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to think I'm crazy. This pigment activates with heat. So before I stir it up, I want to let these drops go all the way to the bottom and kind of just kind of get to know each other down there. Kind of say, "Hey, what's going on with you?" And the other part's like, "Hello there." You want that to happen, and then after that, you stir it up, and boom, it has this like two-part violet over here. Oh, but a little purple on this side, and that's what we're looking for. But that is what we're working with. It's almost to the bottom. Dude, I'm looking for a good name for just the solid bait. I'll show you a little sneak peek. Little sneak peek. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing because I don't want to show you the amazingness, but there's a little sneak peek. Dude, you don't have to sleep. I mean, it's not one of those streams. Oh. All right, found my knife. All right, let's stir that up. Oh ho ho ho! Look at that. You see how it is a hot pink on top? Now, let me grab my glove. I'll show you. Let me stir that up real good. See how hot pink on the top? Oh, but it's this sort of purple on the bottom. What's happening there? All right. Now I'm a realist. We're gonna add more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't have to let this one settle because, well, actually, I won't even have to wait. When you put pigment in here, it'll settle quicker. I don't know why. I'm not a scientist. Dude, Bill's on this. All right, Bill. What flake should we add to this? Let's get our little tester block out here so you guys can see what we're working with. All right, Bill, we're all waiting on what you want. So you see how that in here looks more violet and down here purple. Now once we actually put it in, oh my gosh, hang on. Ouch. Once we actually put that in a mold, depending on the mold, like if we put it in the minnows, it's going to be purple, but if we put it in like a crawdad or a grub or something, you're going to see kind of the two. All right, Bill said silver for now. So he wants to do silver. Bill, let me ask you something now. Are we doing like a party silver? Are we doing like a disco silver? Or do you just want to do regular silver? Now, also, I'm not making any suggestions for y'all, but I'm just gonna leave this guy right here in case you change your mind. Just again, I'm not making any suggestions. We know we don't want disco. Maybe black. I see that. He wants to party. Okay. Let's do some party. You want thin? Do you want ultra thin or do you want thick? That was not a euphemism. Just saying. That's pretty good. Thick and thin. Alex wants a very small amount of red. Alex, I don't think red's going to show up very well in this, but I like where your head's at. All right, let me get some glitter together. Let me just put this in the microwave for another 10 seconds. Let's say, Bill, you said, and yes, Alex and Bill, y'all are the G's over here. Okay, so very small amount of red. You want to do a little party disco. Wait, you said not disco, party. I need some clarity, Bill. What are we doing here? Bill and Alex have to agree upon what we're doing, and then we'll do it. Black and silver. All right, black and silver. Black silver party. Dude, dude, that's literally my type of place to be. Glove. All right. Let's start with that party, dog. I'm going to do some, what is this? This is just fine party silver. All right. Are we adding red or black? What are we doing? Red or black? Black. Yeah, I don't think red will show either. All right, I'm about to stir it up. We got anything else we want to add? All right. Sir Bill said it's looking good. We're going to stir that up. Whoops. All right, you see how that violet came through? Dude, I'm telling you, it's killer. All right, do we want to add anything else, or do y'all want to pour this into a mold? Have I ever burnt myself, Alex? You see that scar? Yeah, I have burnt myself. It doesn't feel great. Robert's call. Robert, we're waiting on you, brother. What are we doing? All right, y'all think about it. Robert said it looks good, but y'all want to think about it? I'm going to put it in the microwave for another 10 seconds. Give y'all some time to figure it out. All right, yeah, Robert, you pick the mold. You've deserved it. Ow, 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 ow. Stuff is hot. All right, dude. I'm liking Robert's ideas here. He's right on track with what I'm thinking. So we're gonna do the glory crawls, 3.4 inch glory crawls. Hello, I got suggested this live. I'm liking this. Where are you from? I am from Nashville, Tennessee, brother. Or sister, I'm not sure. Then a thin one, so you can get like 2 different colors. All right, yeah, we'll do minnows and crawls again. Literally lost my minnows. All right. Let me show you how I configure this little Lego set I got going on here. I'm gonna warn you guys. Let's see, when I put this up, yeah, it's gonna be in your way. Here, we'll just do one at a time. So we'll do crawls first, which means I'm going to put you right here. Little pro injector tip. If you guys do this yourself, use some mold release. Spray that down that injector. And when you push it out, you're going to have all that like random stuff with it. So keeps it clean. All right, I'm going to shoot these crawls first. Oh, we had a blowout. This is not good. Hang on. We're gonna have to assess the situation here. Got a little blowout below. I didn't have ow, ow, ow. Got my finger. Ow. That clamp right here was way too high up, so it blew out at the bottom. Common mistake, rookie mistake. So we're gonna fix that real quick. Just burnt the hell out of my finger, but it's cool. It's cool. It's for the live. All right, that should be dry. I'm gonna throw the stuff that probably hit contact with other stuff away. This will give you a good idea of what it's gonna look like, but they are gonna not be good because saw how that shot right through it. They look great. They are gonna look great, that's for sure. I didn't even really want to show you because I'm gonna remelt them real quick because I feel like I just ruined them. But yeah, to answer that last person's question a while ago, every time I make a video, I burn myself, without a doubt. It's just sort of part of it. Yeah, while I'm reheating this, you guys figure out a good name for it. Yeah, call that shit Bill Gates. Am I allowed to cuss on YouTube Live? Is that against the rules? I didn't read it. I apologize if there's any women in the room. I didn't mean to cuss. I'm from the South. We don't cuss in front of women. All right, that is heating up. Give me just a second, guys. I will be right back. All right, we're back. Grape juice isn't bad. Phantom grape. I like Phantom. Dude, Bill? You're on one, bro. Bill knows exactly what I'm talking about. Let me stir this up. So I remelted that last mess up. And it luckily with this pigment, it won't change it too much at all, really. When you start putting those powders in there, some of the powders actually require heat. So like they don't even like truly activate until it's done. All right, Robert, whose input do we need here? All right, that's heating up. Oh, my bad. Mine? Dude, I liked the purple dragon fruit because I mean, y'all seen a dragon fruit, it kind of has that vibe. What was the other one I liked? Phantom grape was good. Concord grape is good, but it's like I feel like I got a bunch of others I could use in place of that. Honestly, when I make a website, I'm like trying to come up with all the colors I want to put on there, and then I realize it might be easier if I just ask, like, if I just had a website that said, fill out your custom order and I'll make it. But I don't know. All right. Let's try this again. We got these clamped up real tight now. All right, I just loosened that one. Hang on. You should not have that same problem. Let's inject that into the mold. Whoops. That happens a lot. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's let that dry. We'll top it off. And I will use the access to make our minnows. Oh. What does wiggling do? Oh, you mean when I wiggle this right here? So I'll show you. Whenever I use like high pressure, let me top that off. Especially on my swim bait mold when I'm just going down the lane of like here. Every time I hit that and that's crazy. And I pull off, it literally just shoots plastisol everywhere. It hits me in the arm, it hits me in my shirt, it hits me, it just spreads everywhere. So I've gotten really used to sort of kind of wedging it off and letting some of that pressure off. I've lately found that it works pretty well on everything. The more you know. All right, that is almost done. Let me see if I can. Ouch, hang on. I need a glove for that. These little chemistry things work good, but you got to have a glove for them. The other ones have handles and they work a lot better, but they are a lot more expensive. Yeah, go for yellow dragon fruit. It has more taste to it. Yeah. Dude, I'm not a dragon fruit guy. So much maintenance. I'm like an apple guy. Just grab that thing and go. If that's what we're talking about, I hope that's what we're talking about. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah. I think it's funny that someone asked if I get burnt. I literally get burnt all the time. So the way I test this, I know if I press that, it's gonna burn the shit out of me. Hang on. But if I kind of work my way up, kind of work it. I've stuck with the yellow dragon fruit since trying each kind, the regular with the red. Dude, I'm not a dragon fruit guy. Is this stuff? Am I missing something or should I be eating dragon fruit? Whoop, sorry. Charles is back, everybody. Welcome. All right, y'all. This is our. What did we decide the name? Dragon fruit? We've just been talking a lot about fruits. And Bill's never even had a yellow one, so we can't even call it dragon fruit. Whatever y'all call it, this is what it looks like. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that looks good. That kind of goes back. Earlier, I made a video trying to make this pink. That looks better. Like that looks better than the pink. Phantom grape. That's right. I like phantom grape. Not bad. Okay, so I'm sure you can kind of tell. Pink on top, but when it hits that light, I mean, you kind of see that blues through, that violet kind of shines. That's why, I mean, y'all, if y'all make baits, MF plastic, violet grape, it's 33126. That's all that is. And then I guess we added a little bit of disco in there. Which can't really tell too much. It's a little bit of silver. Kind of just looks grady. But I like it. Electric grape. Yeah, dude, but electric grape. Somebody stole that, didn't they? Some big company that just is waiting to sue me. I feel like they already came up with that name. Or maybe I'm thinking of Sonic. Is that a slush? Yeah, I mean, I will say it does have grape in the name. All right, violet. I'm liking that. All right, let's get some more plastisol going. When these dry, you can just remember this is our John Deere flavor or whatever we named it. Our little Christmas get up. Dude, we've been making some baits that I am definitely going to be taking to the lake tomorrow. All right, what's next? We'll make some minnows out of our phantom grape. We should, yeah, phantom grape, dude. That's the word. Alex, Bill, Robert have decided as a mutual agreement we're doing phantom grape. You want to see something easy? Let me show you how I clean all this sparkle up. I take my old stuff. I just do a little bit of this action right here. I mean, it just cleans up that environment like you wouldn't believe, except for the little cup placements. And then we just take this puck right here. And we just throw it in the trash. Just kidding. That's what I sell to y'all people. Nah, I'm messing with you. What do you do with the... That's funny. Well, some of it I just threw away. All this stuff right here, I just give it away to people. I got buddies that fish. I literally go fishing a lot, and I go to a marina, and there's always people fishing and stuff. So I hand out baits to them. They know who I am at this point as the guy who's just when they see me, they're like, "Oh, they're about to get some baits." And sometimes it's kind of like that. If you've ever not gotten a Christmas present, but you ended up giving someone a Christmas present, you end up having this weird feeling of a lot more gratitude because you're the one that gave. That's kind of the same feeling I get when I just give these baits away. All right. We need a new flavor. What are we doing, guys? Dude, Cole. You want me to? I'll show you right now how I make those. If you're going to stick around, it takes probably 7 to 10 minutes to do that. But we can definitely do that. Let's put this. Let's do this. So I'm going to put that in the microwave. Warm it up. I got another little canister here. Hey, Ashley. Um, this is some old stuff I made. We're going to put him in the. I like to call this the recycling bin. I will take this, make more until I can't make anymore, and throw the rest away, or just make a bunch of who knows what. Sorry. And that's just for like giving people stuff. But all right, I will show you. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Cole, let's make a 2-part mold. So I'm going to start, let's see. When it comes to baits colors that I have made and I like, I keep them in a bag so they don't get like dust. I'm in my garage, so, you know, dust and things like that. Let's cut a little chartreuse up. I like to kind of cut it up so that when it melts, it all melts sort of evenly. If you've ever just tried to melt it, you'll know what I mean. Yes, Bill, that's exactly what I do. I literally, give you an example. When I make the craws, like if I want to make it like that, I melt chartreuse. I pour the whole craw chartreuse, and then I literally just take that craw. I grab them about right there, and I just kind of, you know, work that boy off like that. And then I put him in the mold. Now, this is what I knew this when I was a kid. Well, I guess we'll throw him away. Did you know that if you've ever been in a creek and played with crawfish as a kid, sometimes their pincher comes off. It's like a mechanism. Baby bass learn how to hunt on crawdads, and the first thing they do is they try to cut their pinchers off so they're defenseless. Interestingly enough, when I've fished, sometimes I'll pull one crawl off because it, in a weird way, it shows that fish I have half my defenses, and they look at that and they're like, easy target. It's kind of like a dying bait fish. Now, here's the thing. I have not spoken to a largemouth bass, and we haven't conversated about that. But in my head, when I'm fishing, it gives me some inspiration. So if that's what you need to keep going, then I'd go. I am making chartreuse. I'm gonna I got a lot of different chartreuses, so I'm gonna sort of mix them together. Hang on, I need to go back on these comments. What did I miss? Okay, yeah, 2-tone baits. Cole, I do have dual injectors. I have a bunch of different injectors. I'm gonna start making that. I need to. It's just, well, honestly, I'm gonna be 100% honest. It's my camera position that makes it kind of difficult. I don't know if you've noticed in my videos. It's like when it gets to the injection part, I'm always hitting the camera with the top of the injector. So I'm trying to figure that part out, and then I will start showing you guys some laminates or 2-part molds, for instance. All right, that's a good amount of that. We don't need a lot. I'm just trying to make the right color because we're probably not going to be putting too much pigment in here. Let's put a little more dark green in there. All right. Yeah, that'll work. Stuff that in there. Put that in the microwave. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, whenever I make and I write down my recipes, but I have a lot of extra stuff. And when it comes to like making just the chartreuse tails, you get a lot of extra left over. So I keep it in a bag because I want to preserve it and not keep it away from, I want to keep it away from dust and stuff. But we'll let that heat up. Dude, I'm still, you know what I was thinking while I'm sitting here looking at it? That Baja with some, what do we call this? Shoot. What is the name? Grape something? Baja with grape claws? That would be good on the little crawdad if you can kind of think about it like that. What do y'all think about that? I like it. I'm a phantom grape. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Robert. Little phantom grape. Maybe the body, or what do y'all think? Claws Mountain Dew or Claws Phantom Grape? So we'd be kind of taking the best of both worlds here. Like how I put them on opposite sides because that's color theory. All right, this is almost done. Bill, what's going on? What's up, dog? No, we're just waiting on some plastic to melt. We're gonna be making some. What are we making? Oh, we're making chartreuse tails. We have not decided what color body yet. Baja claws. I agree, Alex. I think I like that too. We could do that. That would be easy. We could literally take what we made here and put them. It'd be easy because we got enough left. Have you made a black crawl with white flake? Tell you what, dude, we could find out. Black crawl, white flake, watermelon blue flake. Yeah, we got more. I got green, or I mean blue with flake. You know what I mean, chartreuse and blue. This is my John Deere series. That's why, literally, this is called John Deere series, and that's why this to me was like, okay, well, that's my John Deere series. Hey, we're not done. We're not done. We're gonna start stacking them, bro. So, all right. Here's my signature motor oil. You can kind of tell how that has that, like, I just dropped oil into water, but when you get real close, it turns brown. All right. Somewhere I do have what you asked. Yeah, those bags are, that's why I switched the types of bags I use. I'm using bags now that you would buy like from a store, like the actual, like if you buy bait from a store, not like normal weird Ziploc bags that fit it, because they bleed oil through them. All right, I just heat it up a bit. I love the way that looks. It looks like some radioactive goo. Stir that in there. And for those of y'all that are wondering, I don't have a respirator on, but I do have ventilation in the room. All of this stuff is getting blown that way. Sometimes it'll look like that because it's coming up and you're so close to it. But I can barely even smell it. And normally when I make videos, I wear a respirator. What's the biggest fish you've ever caught? I live in Tennessee, so not the biggest. Like I've never even been deep sea fishing. I have fished in salt water, but I have never been off of like a pier. I caught a 34-pound striper in Old Hickory Lake. That's probably the biggest fish I've ever caught. And it took me about 10 minutes to reel it in. Super fun. I mean, for being in a lake that you're like targeting bass and all of a sudden you catch a 34-pound fish, it feels like you're catching a shark. And here's the thing. It wasn't a catfish. And that's where, like, in my opinion, it's like, dude, I caught a 34-pound striper bass, not a largemouth bass, striper bass. So they do get a lot bigger. My buddy that I go fishing with, he's caught them upwards of 50 pounds. It's a lot of fun for freshwater fish. But largest largemouth bass I've caught was 8.4 pounds in Percy Priest Lake in spawn season, and that was 2 years ago. Have not caught one like that since. All right, here's our goo. Now, I don't put flake in these tails because the tails are so small, the flake can kind of ruin the integrity. I'm going to stir that up real good. I'm going to try and get it on the sides there because that kind of takes those bubbles with it. Let that sit for just a second. Mine is a 13-pound. Holy shit. A 13-pound carp. What's your favorite hard lure? Alex. Probably this guy. This is a medium hard blend. Oh, you mean like crankbait? Shoot, dude. I'm not. I wish I had my tackle box with me. It's in the boat. But red orange crankbait, 8-foot dive. That's the best thing for March. I kill it on that thing. It's one of my favorite things to fish with. I'm gonna put this in the microwave for like just 5 seconds. It's gonna raise those bubbles and kind of put them to the side so I don't inject it. And then what color are we gonna add to? We're gonna make. You saw the colors of the tails. They look like a radioactive green. But what color should we put as the body? Got a 15-pound grass carp. Damn, bruh. Okay, Alex, where you at? He's in South America fishing that lakes we were talking about. Out here catching a 70. Bruh, I got a dog that weighs that much. And it's a fat dog. That's considered overweight for just the dog. All right, we're going to inject our tails real quick. Still, what kind of dog you got? It's a lab, ain't it? It's always a lab. Black and tan hound. Your messages like keep getting flagged for review. Black and tan something hound. I don't know. I'm in Oregon. We catch big sturgeon, but you can't take them out of the water to weigh them. Dude, who cares? You're catching dinosaurs. Like you're out here catching prehistoric animals. I wouldn't even take them out of the water either. Kidding me? You're like 4 legs away from an alligator. Cole's out here just okay, hang on. Before I get distracted. Doing the tails. This is the tail mode. And you're about to see. I know I'm taking too long, Cole. I'm sorry. Let's inject those tails. Put that in there. Literally, it takes nothing to inject these tails. I just want to put a little pressure, give it that little wiggle, let that pressure out, drain it. Put the rest of that in there. And we'll just we'll keep that topped up. That probably, honestly, even if it does recede the mold starts very low. So even if it recedes, it's not a big deal. We'll just top it off a little bit. When I caught the carp, I was bluegill fishing for catfish bait and really had a light tide. That is crazy. I've had some crazy instances like that where I'm like catching bluegill for bait and then a catfish just kind of swims in those shallows or maybe comes up to the surface and you're like, I don't know, 10 feet of water. And you're like, damn, I guess I should have put a hook on that bluegill already. All right, this is gonna dry, but before it does, we need to get. Now remember, these two molds go together. They don't. They are one and the same in a weird way. I'm gonna show you the process here because it is a little tedious. It's not bad. This is still cooling off over here, so we'll let that do its thing for just a second longer. Because I bet you if I touch that, ow, 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 yeah, 350 degrees, whatever. Caught my carp, I'm sure, on 4-pound line. He was fine. Dude, I'm shocked you even got that guy in. I caught that 8.4 pound bass. I think it was on 6-pound test line, and I thought I was crazy, but bro, 4 pounds, 4-pound line is like, dude, I have an old reel that might work for that. What's your favorite fishing? What fishing reels do you like brand wise do you guys use? For whatever, it doesn't even matter what for. I'm an Abu guy. Just because that's what Pops and Grandpa had. I have a really cool rod. I don't wanna flex or nothing, but got it from a dead guy. Whatever. He don't care. His wife sold it to me. You're an Abu guy, Bill? Hell yeah. You You rock the beer I drink with an Abu Garcia, dude. I like it. Alright, I figured I would show y'all this. This is a reel that I really like using. I went to an estate sale. A local fisherman at my lake passed away. He was a guide. He actually passed away because his boat got off his trailer and he went swimming for it, which I don't think is too crazy, but he is 87 years old. He ended up drowning. That sucks. He had an original, hang on, wave spin. Hang on. Doug Hannon reel, which is like, dude, if y'all know who Doug Hannon is, I mean, I love this thing. It's nothing crazy. Like when the guy, Doug Hannon was a really good fisherman. When he made this reel for everybody, it's not like, the craziest reel ever, but just the fact that it was inspired by him. The biggest thing about it is if you look at that top right there. Oh, sorry. Let me get this out of the way. See how that is a little different right there? You'd be surprised, but that line skips over this like you wouldn't believe, and it spules a lot better than just being flush. I don't know why, but dude, I love this reel. It's just one of my fun ones. All right. Yeah, it's a super real weird reel. If you look up Doug Hannon's reels, you'll understand why. All right, taking that off. This is where it gets a little tedious, but since we're on live, I know little ASMR moments here. So this is what it ends up looking like. It's just a leader or whatever you call that, like a chute, and it's got the tails. I'm gonna lay that right there for just a second. I'm gonna open up one side of the mold. Let's see if I can zoom out just a bit. All right, mold release. This is important. I hit both sides good, and then I take this guy, and I douse him down, bro. I want him oily. All right. Do you like spin? I don't. I have two bait casters. One was my grandpa's, who's passed away, who taught me how to fish. The other one I bought myself. I hate both of them. And I mean that with like the only reason I ever wanted to use it was literally because like my gramps would use it. But man, I go fishing with like really good fishermen, and they're sitting here doing this because they're bird nesting all day. And I'm still fishing with my spinner reels. So I'm a spinner reel guy. I'll say that. Like when I'm alone and I'm just fishing, I might throw out that bait caster. But let's say I'm in like a tournament or something. I'm rocking them 4 spin reels on each side of the boat, ready to rock and roll. I never have a bait caster out there. Just now, okay, let me correct myself. There's a few crankbaits that I have to have a bait caster for just because of the speed that they reel in and just the sort of flow. Um, but for the most part, I'm spinner all the way. This molds are from Epic Bait Molds, arguably the best on the market. Not cheap, but you know, you can count on them every single time. So literally, if y'all watch my videos and y'all see how I make these tails, I'm doing this off the camera, but this is what it takes. And yeah, dude, spinners are the best because they're just. Like, tell me what's wrong with them. Let's start there. It's like, give me a reason a bait caster's better, and we can talk. But like, tell me what's wrong with the spin cast. And you know what's weird? People that don't fish think the spin cast is harder. All right, that's done. These go into the mold. Put that in there. Then we'll clamp it down real quick. Now we still have to figure out a color to go with this. What do y'all think? We got a fresh cup of plastic heating up right now, actually. Okay, they might have more accuracy. I'll give you that. And a lot of it depends on your cast. But I'll say this. I can cast my spin rod 100 times and it will never bird nest. In fact, I've never bird nested one. I don't care how many times you can throw your bait caster out without messing it up. I'm gonna guarantee a perfect cast every time with my spin cast, and that's the reason I use it. And I'm really not trying to. I'm not trying to cast 400 feet out. I'm trying to get about 30 to 40 feet in front of me. If the bait caster can do that and the spin caster can do it too, I'm gonna use the one that never messes up. But I will say, props to the people that use those bait casters and they kill it because it is impressive. All right, we need a color. All right, let's get that stirred in there good. Probably need to put that in for about 30 more seconds. And the reason I know is it is hard to stir. It's going to stick to my knife. Yep. Get some of that excess off. Put it back in there. All right. All right, y'all. We need a color. What color are we going to use? Beige, Charles. We got chartreuse. This isn't a couch. Now, gold. I can get you with gold. I'll do the gold. But hang on. Where is Cole? Cole, where you at, brother? You started this movement. Dude, right. Not Bill Gates approved. Bill, Bill, we need a color for our chartreuse tails. What are we doing here? It's okay. Dude, Charles, don't feel bad. Bill's a good guy, but you ain't got to feel bad. What about a bright orange? Dude, Alex, coming in strong. I was literally just about to say, what about a bright orange and a nice bluish green? That was exactly what I was thinking. Ba-bam. Let's zoom that in a little bit. It's good. Okay. Fire, like a fire tiger. All right, we got a bluish green with a fire tiger. What do we do, guys? I need. All right, this is against. It looks like Cole's gone. So, Bill, Alex, let's argue it out. Do we want a bluish green or a more fire tiger? Now, the bluish green, to give you an idea, what I'm thinking would be something like this right here. That would be my bluish green. Oh shit. Well, you kind of see that. Or if you want like a fire tiger, it's not a bad little mint. Oh, that's kind of an orange. Let's see if we can do more of that right there. Yeah, don't drink this. I wouldn't. You wouldn't make it very far in that gulp. Are we doing orange? Is that what I'm hearing? Because I'm down for the orange. I got a crazy like, bruh, my Jeep Impact Orange. We can rock this. Bill's saying bluish green though, and Charles too is saying bluish green. Now all we need is Alex to concur with our bluish green. Robert's doing bright orange now. All right, this is tough. Should I do both? I can do both. It'd be a while, but I can do both. Robert, bright orange. Bill, bluish green. What do we want, guys? Let me put this back in here. Both. He says both. Okay. If we do both, I'm gonna need. I could do both. Everyone is saying both. So we want to do a. All right. Do we want orange on top or bluish green on top? That's going to be the big decider here. Orange on top or blue-ish green? Orange is on top. That is the winner. All right. Let's go ahead and get our orange. I'm glad you guys said orange is on top because I had that ready to rock and roll. This is my, I've personally made this pigment. Let me go back to the drawing board real quick. Yeah, hang on. This is how I make this. It's 1 ounce Lou Work Chartreuse 108, a 0.1 ounce of Barlow Tangerine, and 10 drops of Lou Work Blaze Orange 110. And that's how you get this right here. Yeah, I think the orange on top is a good idea. We're going to do 10 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want to do 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to complement that, we're going to put some Blaze Orange here. I love this stuff. It's just like very vibrant. We'll do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. And we're not done yet because I know Bill wants that chartreuse to sort of match. This is a fluorescent liquid orange, but it really has a little bit of that chartreuse mixture in there. We're just going to put a bit in there. That is like literally that, like, I don't know, like caution tape sort of. What am I doing, dude? Y'all aren't even centered. All right. Let's mix that in. Yeah, I'm liking this. I am liking that. Do we want flake? Do we want any sort of flake? If you want to add flake, this is probably the best color to add it to. Because again, let's remember, where's it at? I have lost it. But okay, never mind. Take this for example. Chartreuse tail, got check. This baby bass, that's going to be the orange part. Whatever's under it is going to be there. So the best, if you want to add flake, it's going to be on top. I'm seeing a lot of black flake. We're doing black flake. Yeah, I agree though. Black and orange, that definitely goes together. All right. Let's mix that in. Dude, I like this. I like this. Wait, Bill said no bottom. Are we doing only orange? I thought we were going to do something under the orange. Just orange and chartreuse tail. Okay. I'm going to add a little more vibrant to this. That black flake kind of brought that tone down a bit. I want to bring it back up. Add a little more in there. Oh, yeah. This is looking like I shouldn't walk down this area. This looks like the road is blocked. All right. Let's get our little tester block with it. Dude, the Bill Gates himself has changed his mind. And we're not hating on it. Bill, is that the orange you want? Should I add anything to it? Wait, what? I think orange and chartreuse will look good. Bill said yes, sir. Stay away orange for the color. I think orange and chartreuse will also look good, especially in March, bro. They love those darker reds. Now, hey, I'm gonna show you a little secret real quick. Put my expertise in here. Should we add just a bit of tangerine in that? Just a wee bit of tangerine. I'm just gonna put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not gonna do a whole lot, but it'll brings out some reds in it, kind of darken that up. All right, let's compare that. Yeah, not a whole lot. Actually, I don't know if you can tell. I mean, it's very slight, but a little darker. All right, let us. I'm going to heat that back up so we can inject it. Here's the thing. These tails right here that we already put in this mold, they're already as solid as this right here. So this has to be extremely hot, about 106, I'm sorry, about 355, 360 degrees so that it molds well with this. So are we good? Very vibrant. Yep, looking good. All right. Let's put this in the microwave. I want to kind of bring that temp back up, bring those bubbles back to the top, and we will see what we got. Yeah, dude. I'm digging that. I am liking what I'm seeing here. How often do you like Bill? Would you believe that this is the first time I've ever live streamed? I make a video every single day and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like I don't care about views or subscribers as much as I care about like it's a fun hobby. I can't go fish every day because I get off work so late. So like this kind of takes place of that. And I don't know. I figured I'd share that with you guys. Oh hey, Bill, dude, I appreciate it. You are a good viewer. I'll say that. You are a good person to have watching. We'll get that ready. I probably need to put that on this side. I want to start becoming a little more active on this. Honestly, dude, I'll be honest. Like, if this could take place in my day job, I would love that. But you never know how the world works. Hey, I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. That's the type of support that we need, brother. But yeah, this is definitely the first time I've ever done it. I've never live streamed before, but if y'all like what you see, I'll keep it going. All right, this is good right here. That is hot enough for sure. All right, let's inject that. I'm gonna go below those bubbles that came up. Again, this is not gonna require a lot. Kind of shake it off there. So someone asked earlier what this shaking is. Not only am I relieving pressure there, but I'm relieving it and then pushing pressure back in. So I'm kind of like escaping those air bubbles because there are air bubbles. I like that orange though. That was a great suggestion. I think it would look a lot better than the blue. Sorry, Alex. But I like the orange a little better. Can you do a crawl on that too? Would look great. Yeah. Let's go ahead and put. I'll show you how to do the crawls because that one is more like a homemade one. In order to do that, got to put that back in the microwave real quick. The crawls is like so. I have two molds for this the swim baits, which are made together in a way where you can buy that separate piece to make the tails. These I literally just make myself, and I figured, I was like, well, I could just cut the craw off of it and then do it like that. But yeah, dude, I'll do that right now. I'm warming up the chartreuse again, so it's hot, and then we will pour that in. Let's top that off. Have y'all seen the blue craws? These are the OG blue. Well, hang on. These are the OG blue craws. It's brown. Then when you, oh shit. Well, when you hit it in the light without pulling the pinchers off, it turns blue. What color should the craws be? Orange or chartreuse? You guys decide. Do you want chartreuse bodies or orange? I would do the orange body because it has flake, and then the chartreuse claws. I just cut it when it's still in the mold, like with a razor, and then keep it there and it stays there and it works. Yeah, you can do the same thing. I'm telling you, the epic bait molds though, they make it so easy where you really can get away with just like putting them back in there. Mold release though, that is a must. Yeah. Boom. All right. Let us see what this is like. What happens without the mold? It's nothing. It literally just is more like, imagine every time you're like, for instance, moving this leg around, and it just wants to like get stuck. But when you put that mold release on, you can kind of just shape it how you want it. It's just more lubricative. It does not really affect the way that it is made. I'll give you an idea. We've used this stuff called worm oil. This is what I put in my packaging, like this. That's got worm oil in there, and that's like when you buy a bait from the store and it has that oily effect. That's what this is. The mold release is the same, and I've checked. It's the same. I actually called Lure Works to confirm. It is the almost exact same version of this, but in an aerosol form. So it's really not affecting too much. Another thing I add sometimes would be a scent. I use garlic oil, or I'll use some crawfish oil. And you can put that, like, I literally put this in there and mix it up, kind of heat it up, get it all mixed good, and then pour it. And this is all infused in there if I want it. I don't ever really put the fluid in there unless my wife is not here because it smells pretty bad. Oh, wait. We're not even ready. I got to show you the other stuff. Before we take the new mold, let me mix this in there. Yes, I am in my garage. When I first started making baits, I used my kitchen. My wife was pretty upset when the food started to smell like plastic. So yeah. Yep, Alex, I am, or whoever said that. Yeah, Alex, I am in the garage. Why is there a number 2 on my name? I'm not gonna lie, this is my first time live streaming, but hey, Bill, just between me and you, bro, you're number 1. I don't know who number 1 is. Nah, bro, Bill, you were number 1 just a second ago. I don't know what that means, but I got you, bro. All right, that's got to cool down. Give me a second. I got to open that garage door. It's getting a little steamy in here with all this aerosol going around. I think it's chat frequency. All right. Dude, but let's be honest. Bill, Robert, and Alex. I'd call y'all top three all equal. That's the way I'm looking at it. All right, I gotta put that in the microwave. Just get those bubbles out. That's the only parts that go into the trash are the injection because it's got oils and all sorts of different bits in there. I don't like them to get too cross contaminated, I'd say. Let's use some of this old stuff. I like to clean up my surface. I literally use old pieces of plastic because it picks it all up really well. All right, that is mixed. Uh, I'm gonna pour these in the crawls, and then we will show you the swim baits. I totally forgot those are done, but this is hot, so I'm gonna pour that in. Oh yeah, these are gonna turn out good because that mold. Wait, hey, did we agree chartreuse claws? Right, I believe we did. Dude, Bill, if you want a good injector, and look, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you pay for what you get. You already know. Angling AI premium injector, and I'll show you why this is one of the best. It's insulated with whatever. It looks like PVC, but it is insulated. So not only does it not heat up this thing like to where you can't touch it, but it keeps things cool so you don't get clogging or anything. I think I paid like 180 bucks for it, but totally worth it. I have the dual injector setup too. I just, for simplicity, I'm just using one. The I put that sticker there. That's a sticker. It's not actually from them. Yeah, I'll probably stream tomorrow. I'm going to the SEC championship tomorrow. Um, I live in Nashville, so that's sort of a thing to just go to things like that. But yeah, after that, I'll definitely be on. You know what? Do something a little crazy here. I'm gonna pour it into this one because I don't have a lot in here, and I need more vol. Ooh, I don't know if I have enough. I have a $9 injector and it's plastic. Dude, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean, bruh, let's just give it a good old shot here. Yeah, bruh, anything will inject some plastic. It just depends on the performance you want. God, that smelled like garlic. That's literally what I use to inject the garlic. And gosh, this is gonna smell like garlic now. Okay. I think I need a little bit more to fill up this whole entire. Gosh, that smells like garlic. That is rough. I feel like I'm cooking a steak in here. I'm gonna add some more of this because I am a little. Whoa. I'm a little light on some plastisol, and I unfortunately I have to fill all the cavities up, even though I'm gonna be cutting the baits. But I just need a little more. Trying to even that out. Yeah, dude. Okay, so, dude, I wish I had extras, or I'd give you one, just because I'm that type of guy. This right here, I mean, this is the first one I bought, and I've heard a lot of stories about people with their injectors and all the horror stories they've had. I've never had a single one because I told myself, you know what? It's kind of like imagine driving a car with a manual transmission. Buy the good clutch, don't get the cheap one because you're gonna know. That being said, as long as you can maintain pressure, I get it. You might waste plastic and things like that, but that's the fun of it, in my opinion. I don't enjoy wasting plastic, but at the same time, I have so much stuff that I just give away. It doesn't really matter. If you're doing it for personal use, dude, I would totally recommend this. Dude, Tempest left. I don't know where Tempest went. He was an OG too. He was part of the club. All right, we're reheating some more of that radioactive goo. While we're doing that, why don't we look at these minnows? What are we doing here? They disappeared a while. They disappeared. Okay, that's better than disappointed. All right, what y'all think? What y'all think is gonna look like? Orange and yellow? Boom. Oh, dude. Dude, look at that. Hang on, let's get some light on it. Yeah, I'm not hating on that. Not hating on that at all. So, like, to give you an idea, that's where we get those little yellow tails from. Yeah, these are pretty sweet. I agree, Alex. These are super sweet. Big fan. Yeah, those are good. Those kind of remind me of the red and yellow tails I made. I mean, honestly, I need to figure out a better color for the tail because it's always some color in chartreuse tail. All right. Now, just ignore that. All right. All right, so we're gonna try our. What are we doing? Green craw, is that right? And did you guys decide you wanted? I think we decided we wanted the orange as the body, right? Dude, yeah, a carrot. It does look like a carrot. So we're gonna put. Let's zoom that out again. I'm gonna put this into. Gosh, dude, this smells like garlic because I used that syringe to show Robert as an example, and now my whole office or garage smells like garlic, and now I'm gonna have to blame Robert. Why my wife is gonna be like, "Why does it smell like garlic?" And I'm gonna be like, "Dude, Robert Gates, or I'm sorry, Bill Gates did it." Why was I saying Robert? I'm blaming you, Bill. All right, let's inject that into our crawfish, crawdads, whatever you want to call them. They crawl. Gosh. All right, yeah, that looks good. I cannot get over how garlicky my room smells now, or my garage. Luckily, it's the garage. Then when I do garlic baits for people, I do them outside. It lingers. I don't know why. I think it's because like I'm actually burning that scent. It's like a punch of essential oil, pretty much. Dude, there is a Robert in there? Okay. Well, different. I'm talking about Bill Gates over here. Dude, I will. Bill, I'll say, I got you, Bill. Don't worry. I'm making fun of him. I got the coolest wife in the world, bro. All right. That is topping off. Let us heat up. I'm going to heat this up because, it's that whole DQ situation. One thing I do when I heat them up, ow, I grab the sides like this, kind of jiggle it around, put him back in there. That way it's, just not touching those sides. I don't think that'll go in there. Just kind of punch it down. You always got to top off the cavity, and I used to think like, well, what's the point? The baits don't start till down here. It's pressure. As pressure is releasing up here, as long as you fill it, it starts to fill that up. Found that out the hard way. So yeah, always top it off until you think that you shouldn't have to top it off anymore, which basically means it's no longer going down. Coolest trick I found. Can't get this out, right? I mean, I can sit here and pluck at it until there's nothing left. Drill bit. This is a drill bit extension. I got a bunch of these. Perfect. Every time. Hang tight. I gotta clean the lens. All right, we good? Here's that old chartreuse. We'll put that into our new stuff. Again, my chartreuse, I keep, even though I have a bunch of it, it's just, saving plastisol. That's really what the motive is. What is my name? Is Bill asking my name? D. Bill? I use a tent peg for the same thing. Okay, a tent peg is awesome. I never thought about that, but I could do that, I bet. Bill wants to know my real name though. Let's see if he's talking truth here. Chartreuse and Baja Blast body on the crawl would be sexy. Dude, I agree, Bill. I agree. All right, let's cut this off. This is where it gets a little tedious. Oh, okay. Well, that was easy. Yeah, dude, I got a really basic name, nothing crazy. Ooh, what do y'all think about that? Sometimes when I do this, I'm like, man, I should just literally keep it the same way. What do y'all think? Nah, Bill, you're good. I don't. Radioactive crawls, I like that. I don't care. My real name is Austin. In case anyone's asking. Uranium, that's good. If you saw me and you looked at me and you'd be like, yeah, you're an Austin. All right, so let me show you what I do here. Same thing. Hit the mold with the mold release, and then I hit the baits with it. Good name, I agree. Bill Gates is a great name too. All right, so check this out. So I'm gonna take this. Yeah, dude, I feel like Austin's a good bait naked name, don't you think, dude? Oh, never mind. And then we literally just put them down in there. The more you can get a part of the body like that right there, see how it kind of kept a little bit of the body? Dude, I believe that you are the real Bill Gates. I'm 100% on that train. All right. Let's put our little dump bowl here. Whoop. So without that mold release, this would be super tedious to hard and like just difficult to get that in there. Pull that apart. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not one of those people that care. Like you can know my name. It does not affect me. Not to mention, I have a pretty common name. Austin Bates. I will give you $1,000,000, dude. Only you, dude. Only Bill Gates. What if you were the real Bill Gates? You're just out here like, bro. What's Microsoft, bro? I'm watching Austin make some baits. It feels bad like having to waste all these, but all right. I'm gonna do one a little special. I'm gonna take the head. I normally don't do this, only because it's just so tedious. But I want the tentacles on one of them, or I want the like I don't know little antennas. Nah, bro, Bill, you're always good. Don't you ever worry about thinking you're out of place or nothing like that, bro. You are good in this space. I'm missing a claw. Oh, okay, here we go. What is the most I would spend on one rod and one reel? What is the most you would spend on a rod and a reel? Oof. A buddy of mine, and this is weird you say that, is selling me his G Loomis rod for $100, which is crazy because if you know anything about G Loomis, it's more than $100. But apparently he got a good deal on it. Um, that will probably be the nicest rod that I got for a good cheap price. That being said, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'd probably my most expensive rod. I have a really nice Dobbins that I really like. I think it cost me like 229, I think, and then I think my most expensive reel is only like less than $100, so nothing crazy. Bill will give me $1,000,000 for 5% of the. Hey, dude, I'll take it. We don't even have a company, so if you want 5%, I'll say this right here is all yours. You can just take that, and then I'll take your 1,000,000. Does that sound fair? I mean, that's 5%. Dude, so I really want to get into lead bait making. That is the next endeavor here. Either that or spin or crankbait, like actually painting them. Um, just because that sounds good. I will say my strength is color theory over anything. So like when it comes to like making any sort of color, like painting baits and stuff, I feel like that's where I'm stronger at. But who knows? Now, Eric, we have melted them different. That's the trick here. Dude, Robert. Oh man, you got the Baja and Phantom Great Claws. Good deal. Dude, did you miss those? No, you were here for that. We're gonna put these two together, make something good out of it. Alex Hutch. Yeah, I will say I'm not an artist. I've never studied artism or anything. I am this is a secret. I am a really rare type of colorblind, and it's not even like colorblind where I can't see color. It's that I see like way too much color. I see vibrant colors more than like dual color. I have a really hard time seeing gray actually. Um, I know what gray is to someone, but like when someone's like, "What is that?" and I'm like, "It's gray," and they're like, "It's blue," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know how to explain to you why to me it's gray." But yeah, yeah, people. Okay, here's the interesting thing, bro. Bill Gates just hit it right on the nail. When you look up the type of color vision a bass has, I am like 50% that on a normal day. I'm like, those are also the colors that I see. Uh, I struggle with gray. I struggle with you know what I really hate? Burgundy. Burgundy pisses me off. I don't even think burgundy's real. I know a lot of y'all are probably like, yeah, I know what burgundy is. Well, I don't. That's brown. I know what brown is, and that's burgundy. That's the way I feel about it. But yeah, I got a little bit of color blindness in a really weird way where, like, this color right here is like blinding my eyes versus that right there. I couldn't tell you why, but people often say like, how do you make baits if you're in a weird color blind? And in a weird way, I see the colors that the bass does. From what I've googled, I don't know that for sure. I'm not a bass. All right, orange is almost done. All right. All right. Dude, Billy, you're the man. I found a spinning rod and reel in a bush, and I had to untangle it to fix the drag and change the line, but now I have another spin. Hey, dude, I feel that. I feel that. That's one of the best rods to find. I've actually caught a rod in the lake before. I reeled it up. It was not worthy of. I gave it back to the lake, but it had been down there for a while. All right, that is a little bit. I need a little hotter. Did it? You want to see an old reel? Hang on. Y'all know what this is? Bet you ain't never seen that unless your grandpa died 20 years ago. This sounds like a chainsaw. This is a Garcia. This is an Abu Garcia reel made in France. Really old too. Really old. All your grandpas use this, by the way. Just saying. I remember when I was a kid and my grandpa was using that. Dude, Bill. I feel like me and you could go on the boat one day. Bill, where do you live? Well, don't tell me that. You're on live. You don't have to say that. All right, let's put this on this side. Yeah, Bill, you're 14. Don't tell people where you live. I have a weird feeling that your name's not even Bill Gates, but hey, we're not going to talk about that. All right, let's inject this in here. Dude, tomato soup. Have you ever been to Trader Joe's? They make a little canned tomato soup just like this. Got little dumplings and potatoes in there. Dude, Bill's 14 and he knows more than I do. Bill's the man. Let's not forget that. All right, this is probably my last bait. Top her off. Dude, the naming council. And Bill is the man. Welcome to the council, brother. Let's keep topping that off until it finally fills down. I love this orange, though. I mean, that orange is something else. I mean, yeah, these will do good. Probably 2 months ago, these would have slayed. Now we're getting into that sort of red season. Bass are stupid right now. You got to remember, at least in the South, largemouth bass, we think they have a mind span of about 4 months. And so they literally forgot everything from last year. Now they're eating anything they can get their hands on. What time is it where you are? It is 11 o'clock. Good color that goes with blue. Good color that goes with blue. That's actually kind of a tough one. Blue goes good with blue. I'm thinking like if I was to put anything on here, I'd probably put like those crawls on it. So those would go good. Honestly, right? Hang on. I don't know how he got in there. A little pink and blue, that would go good. Black and blue. That actually, yeah, dude. Black and blue. That would probably be one of the better ones. Oh, what was I doing, dude? Look at that. It's out here receding. There we go. Chartreuse, yeah. Dude, Charles, brother, are you if you're in high school, then you haven't even gone to bed on time yet. But if you're not, bro, get some sleep, dog. All right, that looks like it is doing its thing here. I feel like we're pretty good to go. Let's go ahead and pull this out of the mold. I'm glad you guys get to see what I'm doing behind the scenes because every video takes me like 30 minutes to make. And I try to make 8 a day on my off day so that I have enough to post throughout the week and one extra in case I miss a day. But I'm glad you guys are getting to see it firsthand. All right. Y'all ready to see this? All right. You know what would have looked good in this? A little bit of motor oil on just like the legs. If I would have plucked all the legs off, I mean, y'all would have been here watching me for. I'm still amazed with the Baja Blast, guys. I'm loving the Baja Blast. All right. Baja. Dude, now these look good. Those look pretty good. Nah, yeah, dude. These might make their way on the website. What do we call these? That's gonna be the big thing here. Dude, I like that a lot. Baja Blast was sparkle, which was it was 1 teaspoon of glitter, which is upside down, silver holographic, and then literally all I did was 10 drops of MF plastic color. That's it. Dude, the Bajas are awesome. Apparently, YouTube does not like the name Baja. Every time someone says Baja, I have to, it says like the message is held for review, and I have to like view it separately. But what do y'all think we should name these? These are pretty cool. I like them a lot. Let's get them in here. Good. Uranium Cross. I like that. I feel like I should name my chartreuse. Like I'm gonna make my own signature chartreuse, which is kind of what we did, but it was a remelt. I do want to name them Uranium, but I need to actually make like that is mine. If you want to remake it, you have to ask me type of thing. Yeah, Bill, carrot crawl, carrot crawl. I like that. I like that a lot. The carrot crawls. Those would those would do really good right now. So the only thing is when you don't have that mold, you see how that wants to come off? Well, now he's still up. He fell. Now some of them, like let's find that one where you okay, like this guy. See how you can tell it's merged in that head? Like that ain't coming off. That ain't coming off. Oh, it came off. Okay. Well, uh still. Like like I said earlier, fish try to pluck these off literally before they attack it. So you should be, if they have less to attack, they'll probably eat it better. All right, everybody. Bill, Eric, Logan, Alex, Robert, of course. Another Eric. I have to get off for the night. Charles, I feel like that one guy who started this whole Shazam isn't here anymore. That's okay. Um, that being said, I appreciate all of you guys. Please subscribe. That helps me out a lot. I don't know why, but that's just what everyone else says, so I'm gonna say it too. Um, I could care less at the end of the day, but I do like this. So if y'all want help with anything, just let me know. I'm gonna go live again tomorrow. Um, but for now, I'm gonna head out because can't waste all my plastisol. Bill, I am gonna email you. Alex, I'm gonna email you. You guys both commented on one of my videos, hopefully, and I will email you my email address. That way, I can send you those molds. We'll figure out all the details. Again, it's free. I just don't want to say on live like send me your address, nothing like that. But I'll take care of all that for you as soon as I can get to it. Anyway, thank you. Check out my vids. I appreciate it. Hope I all had a good night. And I'm out.